Meet Bhavesh from Surat, pot-bellied, sweaty after 2 dance steps, complaining about knee pain, yet proudly lecturing teens on how to focus on business instead of wasting time on sports. He never chased a ball growing up, he chased cash. Now in his 40s, the only race he runs is for a parking spot at the mall, and the only time he sweats is during tax season, or when the AC breaks down. Meanwhile, in Chitrakoot, Uttar Pradesh, a bridge worth 100 million rupees built over the Valmiki River collapsed in June 2025, before it was even inaugurated. No earthquake, no flood, just decades of rotting ethics poured into concrete. You might ask, what does Bhavesh's belly have to do with a fallen bridge? Here's the kicker. They're deeply connected. Before you scroll away or call this absurd, stick around. What you'll hear in the next few minutes isn't just a theory. It's a psychological X-ray of a nation that never learned how to compete, only how to secure. The sporting mind versus the static mind. When children play sports, they're learning far more than just scoring goals or hitting sixes. They learn how to lose, and more importantly, how to bounce back. They learn effort, teamwork, grit, and delayed gratification. They understand that greatness is earned, not given. But in India, sports is seen as a distraction, a waste of time, something that doesn't guarantee a job. This in a country where cricket is worshipped like a religion, but only from the couch. Most adults watch with passion but rarely play with purpose. So, what do we raise instead? We raise young people who have never felt the rush of a hard-fought victory, who fear failure so deeply that they seek guarantees in every walk of life: a government job, dad's business, a family-arranged marriage, and a secure income stream through property or rent. They don't strive, they secure. And when their aspirations exceed what security can offer, they don't strive harder, they cheat. Because winning something is unfamiliar territory. Discipline, resilience, and hunger to succeed through fair competition, the mental muscles built on the playground, were never developed. So when it comes to getting ahead, the Indian man doesn't dream of inventing something new or outperforming a competitor. He dreams of getting a government job, not to serve, but to sit on the throne of easy money. He dreams not just of a salary, but of bribes. And in a society that never internalized the ethics of fair play or the pride of winning cleanly, this isn't shameful, it's smart. The government officer demands his cut from the shady contractor, who in turn uses spurious cement. The transport officer collects money under the table to issue driving licenses to people who can't even reverse properly. The building inspector clears illegal constructions that will one day trap residents in death. The ration shop clerk quietly sells PDS rice meant for the poor to private dealers for a profit. The school teacher marks attendance, but doesn't show up because his job is secure, and there are no consequences. The policeman goes easy on rapists and murderers, not always for money, but because he's been influenced, pressured, or mentally compromised by the same broken system. The customs officer lets in smuggled goods. The health inspector turns a blind eye to filthy restaurants. And the tax officer helps big businesses evade taxes, for a price. From education to policing to healthcare, every link in the public chain is for sale. And here's the deeper truth. This doesn't feel wrong to most people. Because when a society doesn't train its youth to compete, it breeds a zero-sum mindset. One where success is not earned, it's either inherited, manipulated, or stolen. Someone else's rise feels like your fall. Merit becomes suspicious. And corruption becomes not just tolerated, but admired. And the few who do play fair, who are both sportive and ethical, are crushed, sidelined, or mocked for not understanding how the real world works. This is the true psychological cost of having no sporting culture. The result? India ranks 85th on Transparency International's Corruption Index, 2023. Worse than China, Bhutan, and Rwanda. So yes, Bhavesh's potbelly and that collapsed bridge? They're built from the same material. No competition, no accountability, and no culture of earning victory. Sports, testosterone, and mating psychology. Let's go deeper. Sports doesn't just build ethics. It builds testosterone and confidence. Across the world, women subconsciously gravitate toward men who win. In business, ideas, wars, and yes, sports. But in India, women often don't get to choose. Marriage is arranged by parents who don't ask, is this man driven, disciplined, fit? But instead, does he have a government job? In short, we choose security over strength. And in the process, raise generations of men who believe entitlement is enough. What follows is tragic, but predictable. A country where most people don't innovate because they don't see a point. Why build something new when you can live off rent? Why change the world when you're told to just clear a government exam? So we invent nothing. We copy everything. And we sell our market to global companies instead of building our own. And when someone dares to try, start a business, make a film, write something bold, the system crushes them with red tape, ridicule, or resistance. That's not just stagnation. That's institutionalized paralysis. We have the world's largest pool of educated youth, yet we remain a third world country, more famous for our tech support than our tech breakthroughs. This is the invisible cost of not playing. And finally, the visible costs. Yes, there are physical costs too. We are the diabetes capital of the world. India has over 101 million diabetics and nearly 200 million pre-diabetics. Our streets are filled with junk food vendors, not playgrounds. Our boys and girls don't run. They scroll. And the final insult? In the last 45 years, a nation of 1.5 billion has won just 2 Olympic gold medals. One with a rifle, the other with a javelin. Meanwhile, Jamaica, a country smaller than Delhi, ran away with 3 golds in a single Olympics. Literally ran. Why? Because they value sports. So the next time someone tells you sports are just a hobby, remind them, it's not about winning medals. It's about building a nation that knows how to strive, compete, and win with integrity. Because without sports, we don't just lose games, we lose values, we lose vision, we lose the future. If this made you think, share it forward. Let's start the conversation India has ignored for too long. And don't forget to subscribe to Whispering People, where we unpack the deeper truths behind the world you see.